Hey guys, it's TEW2013 here, and welcome to episode 6 of the WWE 2009 series in the PG era. You join us today for part 1, which is of course ECW on Sci-Fi. We're just kind of filling out a couple more younger talents, bringing them up to the main roster, giving them an opportunity to can start progressing their career, and of course setting the main event up for a match at Survivor Series. So in part 1 we'll obviously go through this card, and then in part 2 we'll go through SmackDown, and then what we'll do after that is we'll kind of look at the card. I was going to put that in the last video, but I felt I still needed to amend it a little bit, and this is hopefully going to be the final card when the pay-per-view hits in the next video. So without further ado, let's kick on with the small portion of ECW on Sci-Fi. 8 segments today. We're going to book it in the Pepsi Center, Denver, Colorado, in the Midwest region. First time I believe I've been here. I'll just double check that. Midwest, yep, I haven't been here. As I say, no real urgency to go anywhere in particular. I know the wrestling industry is decent here, but I'm just trying to fill out every place that speaks English at the moment, and then maybe we'll look at the likes of Puerto Rico, and then maybe Hawaii as well. But anyway guys, enjoy the show. As I said, it's quickly 8 segments, and then after this we'll go on and rocking with some Friday Night SmackDown. So we start off, William Regal comes out to the ring and he said he'd like to reveal his new clients, or his new members of the Ruthless Roundtable. They are the next generation. They come down to ringside and join the new manager. They are Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. So they get a 45D. Regal comes out of this looking good. Ambrose didn't, but it's to really give them a mentor to start with, like he kind of helped Ambrose in FCW, and hopefully putting them with him can propel them to good things, and Seth Rollins developing better performance skills, so that's good there. Next up, Leo Kruger is in the ring with a microphone. He claims that he is so good that he cannot be defeated by anyone, so he's making an open challenge, it's a bad impersonation of a South African accent, for any wrestler on the roster to face him in a singles match tonight. I swear I'll try not to impersonate that Leo Kruger accent again, although I just have a tendency to do it. But 28E there, that sets up a match that happens right after it. An extremely short match. Tommy Dreamer defeats Leo Kruger in 508 by countout. Tommy Dreamer wouldn't have jobbed to him, so I thought let's do it by countout. Let's build a mini little feud here. 51D plus isn't too bad considering where Kruger is and Dreamer's kind of mid card. But Tommy Dreamer looked good out there, and there was no skill improvements, so it's going to take time before we finally get Kruger elevated to actually go over, but hopefully over time he shall. We then have a promo with Alberto Del Rio, talking about how good he is, just get himself some overness. That's a 54C minus. And then a match that had some good action, but not much in the way of heat. Shelton Benjamin defeats Alberto Del Rio in 13:48 by pinfall with a paid up, 70C plus. Good opportunity here for Del Rio. Shelton's really just going to put on a showcase with most people. 70C plus per upper mid card, and lower mid card in the case of Del Rio is pretty decent. And I say hopefully we can push Del Rio. Shelton is a great role on ECW. I might try and push him actually, because he really is just a phenomenal athlete, but we shall see. And Shelton is improving his rumble skills, so I'll win from there. Next up, Christian Tomko, Shelton Benjamin, the Hurricane, and Goldust, and as they're forming an alliance. So I think I've made Shelton Benjamin pull double duty. I was really struggling for faces, but in fact actually no, I haven't. That's a mistake. That should be Yoshitatsu, but because of the language barrier, I just knock Shelton Benjamin in there just to get a better rating. But they're forming an alliance, so it's going to be these 4 men plus Yoshitatsu instead of Shelton Benjamin in the main event. 61C, Christian improvised well. Tomko struggled when going off script and underperformed. Shelton's developing better performance skills, so squeezing him in there has benefited him. And main event match isn't amazing because of who was in it, but it makes sense from a storyline perspective. And a match that had some good action and not much in the way of heat. Christian, Yoshitatsu, Tomko, Goldust, and the Hurricane defeat William Regal, Vladimir Kozlov, Ezekiel Jackson, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins in 17:04. When Christian defeated Vladimir Kozlov by pinfall with a kill switch. I basically called it a 5-on-5 Extreme Survivor match. There wasn't any weapons or anything, it was just to give them the Survivor Series type matchup. It paints a picture where Kozlov takes the pinfall, so that may tease tension between him and Regal, but it shows that at the moment it's a stable of 5. That continues the feud between Regal and Christian going into Survivor Series, and it's a solid 52D, which again, not too bad considering a lot of lower mid-card guys here that are looking to propel. Unfortunately, it's only Goldust who improves his performance skills. And after the match, to try and get the show rating up a little bit, Christian is blindsided with his very own championship belt, wielded by William Regal. Having laid out his rival, Regal takes a good look at the belt itself and even goes as far to position it around his waist in a symbolic gesture, before dropping it next to a falling Christian, exiting the ring. This sets up the Survivor Series match between Christian and Regal one last time to see if Regal can win the championship. 72B-, no skill improvements, and it ends up being a 59C show. Nothing spectacular, but it serves its purpose of pushing newer guys. Rollins, Ambrose and Tomko were used too much, understandable. It was a 15-minute match and it may have to be pushed slowly but surely. But I mean, it's an introduction of them to the main roster, and hopefully we can continue to push them on. Anyway guys, this was ECW. It's now time for some Friday Night SmackDown. So guys, welcome to the SmackDown portion of the show from the Pepsi Centre. I booked in 12 segments that will hopefully kind of give you an idea of the card before revealing the card at the end of the show. 3 pre-show segments as well, just kind of guys we couldn't fit on but either need to get some overness or just really need to improve some skills. And yeah, hopefully a good show that can really take us into the Survivor Series on a positive note. And as I say, after Survivor Series we'll start to echo in a few of my own storylines and start taking the company in a different direction from where it was in real life. So here we go, Friday Night SmackDown, 12 segments. Enjoy the show guys. So in front of the 18,007 people at the Pepsi Centre, the first match is a match that featured great action with a good crowd. And it has Rey Mysterio defeating Drew McIntyre in 7:54 with the West Coast Pop, or the 619. 83B+. Matt Striker and Joey Styles worked well at the announce table. The match deserved better colour commentary, but that will come over time with Matt Striker. Rey Mysterio's improving his performance skills, and hopefully it gets Drew McIntyre a lot better up working with Rey Mysterio. Next up in a match that had some good action but not much in the way of heat, Finlay defeated the debuting Cesaro in 7:24 by pinfall with a Celtic Cross. 62C, decent considering it's Cesaro's debut and he's like pretty much an enhancement talent at this moment, so a couple of matches on pre-shows will kind of build him up a little bit. But Cesaro debuts an arrogant heel gimmick, get a 93 rating, no skill improvements, but I say it'll take time before he finally gets over. Just disappointing that he's fatigued, so maybe that's just a case of a lot of his indie bookings, but he'll come good over time and hopefully we can turn him into a star. And the final match, an extremely short match, Dolph Ziggler defeats Kung Funaki in 3:43 by pinfall with a zigzag. They don't seem to click, only got a 63C, but basic squash match puts the Zigman over and it improves his rumble skills and Kung Funaki's technical skills. Funaki continues to serve a purpose in the company and he's just a fantastic jobber. So anyway, that is the pre-show. Let's kick on Friday Night SmackDown. So we start off as the Undertaker in the ring this week, and he takes the microphone and he's talking to the crowd saying, this Sunday, neither member of Jeri-Show will survive, both of them will rest in peace as he retains his World Heavyweight Championship. He gets interrupted by the Big Show. They have an argument back and forth, the Big Show basically saying he's going to knock him out and he's going to be SmackDown's champion, the World Heavyweight Champion. He's going to win with a knockout punch. Continues the storyline, a perfect 92 rated segment, and that, as I say, advances the storyline and really sets up hopefully a main event that can deliver from a maybe not a technical wrestling standpoint, but hopefully with good popularity in both wrestlers and good overness, it should get over as a proper brawl. Next up, in a match that had some good action but not much in the way of heat, Caval and Luke Gallows of the Straight Edge Society defeat Master J and Wang Yang in 5:44 when Caval defeats Jimmy Wang Yang by pinfall with a Key Crusher. Simple job here, getting the newer members of the Straight Edge Society some overness over two basic jobbers in Master J and Jimmy Wang Yang. 54C-, and no skill improvements to worry about there, but I say it should get them some overness and get them some momentum. After the match, CM Punk, Luke Gallows and Caval are in the ring talking about how good they are. 68C+. It would probably get a lot better rating if it was just CM Punk and it was using the other two Menace characters. I may look to create that as an angle, because the angle has all three having mic time, when in reality it would be CM Punk, but at the same time Gallows and Cavallo would be in the background. I might be hoping just at one point to have a case of some of this CM Punk really rubbing onto the other wrestlers and hoping to get their skills up at the same time. We'll see what happens. We're no rush to really push CM Punk at the moment. His time will come, and we'll probably do the whole Summer of Punk thing or something down the line. But for now, I'm quite happy keeping him in like mid card, upper mid card, and really we'll start to push him on in the next couple of months in storylines that won't really involve any title feuds. But there you see, what Gallows is developing better performance skills, so we get one little positive out of that. But he could easily pull an 80-90 rating. I have no doubts about that for a promo. Next, in a match that had some good action but not much in the way of heat, Tyson Kidd defeats JTG in 6:33 by pinfall, with a blockbuster following interference from David Hart Smith. 57 C-. The Crown Time and Hart Dynasty storyline will continue on to the pay-per-view. It gets the Hart Dynasty that little bit of upman, they're a little bit over on the GTG and Shad. They get the win, and it advances their storyline to the pay-per-view, but no skill improvements, which is disappointing. So we get a quick look at the duck sheet here. Low in the crowd's mood, the announcing both guys for holding back, so I don't really think they could get much better until they're over a little bit more. Next up, an extremely short match. Matt Hardy drew R-Truth in 4:15 following a double disqualification. During the match we also seen Kane came in and attack Matt Hardy and R-Truth 51D+. I did have a feeling that this was going to suffer because of the way I wanted it to book. Basically I wanted Kane to come in and really destroy. So the double disqualification was, basically throwing the match out. Is the way I wanted to book it. Basically make Kane come in and look like a monster. It does lead to something that's in the Survivor Series card, you'll see that, but that was just a wee bit of quick booking, just to make storyline sense of why Kane, R-Truth and Matt Hardy will be featuring at the Survivor Series. Next up, and about the feature, great action and a good crowd, Chris Jericho defeated John Morrison in 14:53 by pinfall, while using the ropes for leverage. Solid 81B, the Intercontinental Champion does lose the match, but it's a match that gets Morrison up against a top main event talent, it gets him a good match. Hopefully benefits him in losing, but also keeps Jericho strong, keeps him having good momentum going into the pay-per-view. Jericho improves flying and performance skills, but at the same time, it just makes everything making sense really going into the pay-per-view. I think it's a perfect match. It also gives us that good show rating, so a lot of things we're aiming for there. Next up, Morrison is celebrating in the ring. Dolph Ziggler runs in and attacks him, beating Morrison down to the mat. Simple angle, Ziggler wants that IC title at Survivor Series, so that'll continue on the storyline. Makes him look like $1 million as well. Makes him look like a favourite, and that's an 81B rated segment there. So fantastic. Those two guys will hopefully, they could be something to be pushed to the main event one day. Next up, just a simple segment where I've just put Rey Mysterio really in the ring, having a little promo. Batista then decides to take him out and put him through a table. It's a small angle again that was fitting with time constraints, just to really again get a good angle but continue on the storyline. So that's an 89A for that. In fact, actually no, now I remember now. It actually should be a little bit about. First off, it should have been the talk show where Vicky Guerrero was talking to Rey Mysterio and he challenges Batista. Then Batista would have put him through a table, so I should have switched him about. I've just muddled that up while getting my show order together, so it's a small mistake, but it makes sense, so they've basically had the talk show. Mysterio was talking to Vicky because I didn't have Carlito and I was really struggling for somebody else to put in that spot to be a kind of talk show host. We gave it to Vicky Guerrero. Mysterio challenges Batista, Batista comes out and puts Rey through a table. Main event, and a superb bout that had great wrestling, really. I find that hard to believe. And a sizzling crowd. The Undertaker defeats the Big Show in 8:38 by pinfall with a chokeslam, following botched interference by Chris Jericho. 77B continues the storyline for Taker and Jeri-Show. I was really worried that wasn't going to deliver. 77B is not amazing, but I suppose it'll do. Big Show's improving his rumble skills. Again, it leads us in. Undertaker looks like he's got the upper hand on both of Jeri-Show. Before after it, the Undertaker celebrating his victory. Jeri-Show run in, they beat Undertaker down to the mat, and shows that maybe it's Jeri-Show that's going to come out of this as champions. That's a $99A+. And then, to finish off the show, it's a shame it's only a 76B-, but it's something you'd see in WWE television. They've both beaten the Undertaker, both men are in this triple threat match. But who's going to walk out as champion? They can't both walk out as champions, so they'll both stare down at the title, then looking at each other. Only one of these guys can become the champion if they beat the Undertaker. Who's it going to be? I think it sets it up perfectly for the Survivor Series. And that ends the show there. It's a 76B, Taker and Jerishow advances again, and we end up with an 85B+, which increases their popularity in 15 regions again, which again I believe will be the regions out with the United States, probably like the Mexico, the UK, Europe and others. Just have a look here. Dragon Gate Disco Inferno, Robert Roode with an interview, Shinsuke Nakamura on the radio. Might actually look at bringing him in one day. Oh, he's got decent pop here. No, I don't know. He's on a written deal, so he could be one for the future. Let's see what else we've got. ECW was okay. AJ Styles is going to be feuding with Bobby Lashley, in TNA. Also Kevin Nash and Kurt Angle versus Scott Steiner and Samoa Joe. We'll put butts in seats. But overall, SmackDown get fantastic reviews. That's exactly what we want to see. Quickly check my emails. Cherry Bomb and Charlie Haas are split up. Apparently they were dating. We don't quite get that one. Cesaro's feeling the grilling effects. That's fine. And ECW gets a 0.38, which is down from the 0.42. Let's see, we get McMahon, Stephanie, John Laurinaitis are unhappy, Shane's unhappy, I just have no use for them at the moment until I get a proper storyline how I want them to develop. The Hurricane's unhappy, and we've got Fergal Devitt joining the company tomorrow, so hopefully he'll do something useful. We'll build him up, and that is us just signing to development Adrian Neville, aka or Pac, however you like to know him. So that's the idea. We're also looking to bring in Booker T, even though Batista won't be happy about that. Jeff Hardy, even though CM Punk won't be happy about that. And then Machine Gun Carl Anderson to do something with Devitt to start with, or I could put him in the Straight Edge Society. Undecided as of yet. Let's quickly look at size. I really haven't really gathered a real proper look at these. I really do think it's just a case of everybody else is kind of get benefiting. Let's say it's more about getting the storylines along. We're still currently achieving that. I'll get a 75, an 85, 57, 36. So that Ziggler versus Morrison hasn't really progressed. So we'll need to see with that one. Melina Maurice is 44. Orton and Kingston. Piggy James is just, there's been no time dedicated to that, so we just to end that. Rio and Christian, 52. Santino and Chavo achieves it. Taker and Jeri-Show is decent. The Legacy's doing well. And that feud's over the 65 as well. So plenty of feuds are over 65. Whether I'll let them continue after the pay-per-view, because there's a pay-per-view where I kind of want to keep into the female Survivor Series and have some longer matches. So, like, I can't exactly have a triple threat there and, you know, have like other matches. They kind of all need to kind of integrate in together, which I shall reveal now, if you can bear with my note-taking here. So the main event is going to be John Cena versus Triple H versus Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship. The Undertaker is going to defend his World Heavyweight Championship against Chris Jericho and the Big Show. For the Intercontinental Championship, we've got John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler. And our first Survivor Series match is R-Truth, Finlay, Matt Hardy, and representing ECW, we've got Shelton Benjamin and Goldust. They'll take on CM Punk, Luke Gallows and Caval of the Straight Edge Society, and they'll be joined by Kane and Drew McIntyre. We'll have a tag team. It was going to be a Survivor match, it was just going to be a straight 2-on-2. The winners get a title shot. Crime Time versus the Hart Dynasty. And then another Survivor Series match in Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, Batista and The Miz. And they'll take on Rey Mysterio, Kofi, MVP, Mark Henry and Evan Bourne. We have some sort of Divas match. I've yet to decide how I'm going to work that. If it's going to be just a straight one-on-one or have a Divas Battle Royal or Survivor match. We'll see. I'll see how I really feel when I'm booking the show. And for the ECW World Championship, Christian defends against William Regal. Regal's last chance. But he'll have Ambrose and Rollins with him at ringside. So that is the hopeful card for Survivor Series. It is this Sunday, as you can see for the schedule, the 3rd week in November. So we'll get that booked. Hopefully it's a really good show. And then we've just 3 weeks worth of booking before TLC So we'll see what kind of feuds we can put together with that, even if it is a little bit of filler. Because the good thing here I'm just noticing is it's a proper 6-week build then between TLC and the Rumble, so that could really help us help us have an idea where we want to go for the Rumble, and then eventually where we want to go for WrestleMania. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please leave a like. If you've got any comments, please leave them in either the comments section, or if you've got the video from Reddit, please leave them in the Reddit thread as well. And until next time, this is 21 Maxwell. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye bye.